Let's go over the best Barbarian build for Diablo 3 Season 28, 2023. So, starting right off, it's going to be the Horde of the 90 Savage. It got a massive buff for Season 28. So, it's actually a very simple change, and the reason why it's going to be the best build, well, numbers just happen to go way up. So, let's go and show off what are the changes. So, Horde of the 90 Savages with a 6-piece bonus, it used to deal 1000% increased damage per stack. Now, this is now changed to 2000 per stack. And yeah, that's a pretty big deal. So let's go over how to play the build as well as all the pieces of gear that you're going to need to get this build up and running. So currently on the PTR, this is the best build, the rank 1 slot for the Barbarian. It's done a GR 150. Now there are some other gems that you can kind of mess around with because cooldown reduction is kind of an issue with this build, especially earlier on if you don't happen to have all the pieces of gear. But Bane the Stricken is obviously really good. I'm running a Gogaka Swiftness in the gameplay because I didn't have the cooldown reduction required to get the build as optimized as it should. So if that is the case, I also want to mention that Yugioh can be a very helpful tool to actually have equipped as well. But starting right off, we're going to go over the skills. So how we actually use the skills. So starting right off from left to right over here, we're going to go with Battle Rage. This is what gives us that Path of Exile explodey chest is what it's called, meaning when you kill an enemy, it's going to explode, and basically it causes kind of a chain reaction of damage. This is why you'll see in the gameplay, we basically kind of hit some enemies, and then everything just starts to die. That is because Battle Rage with Bloodsheds makes it so you deal % damage up to the amount of critical hit damage that you dealt for every 1 second. So basically, you deal some damage, then it's going to activate and basically have the ability to AoE, just pop everything, and it's super satisfying to actually apply. And then next up we have our Frenzy ability. This is what we use for our basic attack and our main source of damage. We're just running the cold rune so we can have extra cold, and we don't really need fury in this. It's not really too much of a problem unless you want to spam sprint, which is part of a speed build, which I will show you guys gameplay of as well. Next up, we're running Warcry with Veteran's Warning. We just activate this. It's just going to give us extra survivability. And then we are running Threatening Shout. This makes it so we deal more damage and we take less damage. So pretty much just activate this when you do see an elite pack. And then we are running Wrath of Berserker Insanity. It's basically in every Barbarian build. Just keep this up as much as you can. Again, if you don't meet the cooldown requirements, you can run a Gogak of Swiftness. You can run an Yugioh. Keep in mind that could be changed later down the line if you want to. And then we're running Furious Charge with Merciless Assault, so we have extra cooldown reduction. You'll see in the gameplay, I just swapped up. I just removed Threatening Shout for Sprint. It just makes the gameplay feel a little bit smoother. It feels so good with a massive amount of bonus damage.
This feels good.
You can also consider running All Guilds as well. I'll go give you guys 2 different builds for you. But All Guilds is also a great other option if you want to. But earlier on, Guardians is going to be the superior choice, and that is because it just simply gives you more numbers earlier on because you don't have the Paragon points maybe at the very start of the season. But you can transition into All Guilds if you wish to do so a little bit later. For our passes, we are running Ruthless, so more damage against enemies that are lower HP. The Boon of Bolcathos, extra cooldown reduction for Wrath of Berserker. Then we have Berserker Rage because we're really not spending resource, so we're always going to be able to keep this up. And then we have Rampage, which is basically in every Barbarian build, increasing our strength, which gives us extra survivability and more damage. Inside of the cube, you have a few different options. You can mix and match some of these. Equip one of them, throw a different one in the cube if you need to. As far as the ring goes, Royal Ring of Grandeur is usually in the cube. You can also throw in Convention of Elements, equip one of them. If you want to not run the Endless Walk set, you can opt to swap things in and out there. But Royal Ring of Grandeur, the Undisputed Champion, and the Bastion's Revert are going to be pretty much in most builds. Now, optionally, you can swap in Depth Diggers. You can put these inside and just equip the set for the Horde of the 90 Savages and then just run All Guilds if you want to do that as well. It's kind of up to you on what you want to run, but that's kind of like the go-to. You can also throw in a Convention of Elements if you want to with Scorch Necklace. That's also a very popular option, but again, that's kind of up to you. If you maybe have a really good Traveler's Pledge, then hey, just equip that earlier on. In terms of the pieces of gear, we're going to be running Oathkeeper. This is going to grant us extra damage because it makes it so our primary skills attack faster and have that extra multiplier. A lot of people are running Azurath right now, and the reason why is because it gives you that cold skill bonus damage. Jump can be another option. It will be less damage, but it will really help out with that cooldown on Wrath of the Berserker if you need to upkeep it, which it can definitely be a problem, especially when your gear isn't perfectly rolled on all of the slots. As far as our boots, nothing too special with this. You're just looking for the Horde of 90 Savages set bonus over here. Just gives you extra damage per stack at the end of the day. There's no really need for explanation on this. And then on top of that, we have Depth Diggers equipped over here. But again, you can cube that if you want to. And then we have the Band of Might, and that's going to activate our ability with Furious Charge to give us extra damage reduction. And then we're running the Compass Rose with the Traveler's Pledge, so the Endless Walk set, so we can deal more damage and take less damage. And then for the gloves, nothing too special here. It's just same thing as most Diablo builds. Crit chance, crit hit damage. Area damage could be an optional thing if you want to get that as well. And then we're running the Guardian's belt. The important thing with the belt and the pants, you want to roll the increased frenzy damage on the belt as well as the pants. The rest of the stats really don't matter too much. Looking for that elemental damage, which in our case is going to be cold on the bracers. And again, nothing too special with the chest piece here. Ideally, again, cooldown reduction wherever you can get it, especially if you want to get min-max on the damage to allow you to run Azure Wrath over the Yugioh. And then getting a diamond in every single piece of your gear is great. You can also throw in rubies earlier on if you just want to go ahead and get maybe some more damage, but eventually diamonds are going to be the best for extra survivability. And so I already mentioned the Traveler's Pledge, but the legendary gems, Bane of the Trap, as well as Simplicity Strength are an absolute must. The last one, like I said, I'm running the Gogok of Swiftness because I didn't have the cooldown reduction. A lot of people tend to run this because it's kind of nice to have earlier on as well. But later, you will probably want to run a Shuriken if you want to go ahead and push, or you can run another gem. You can run like Bane of the Powerful if you want to just get like some more like elite damage in the very beginning, because that gem drops very, very early on. Next up, as far as if you want to swap things in and out, the other option instead of Furious Charge is you can actually run Leap. You'd want to run Iron Impact. Currently, the guy that's rank 1 is running Iron Impact. It doesn't really matter too much. Again, choose the one that you like. Depending on the certain tile sets, some are better than others. Leap, being able to leap across gaps can make things a little bit faster if you're just doing speed runs. So if you're interested in that, yeah, Leap can be very, very nice to make your gameplay feel a little bit faster. But there's not too much variation in terms of like what you can run on it. Like I said before, if you want to throw in like a Squirt's Necklace, Convention of Elements, that's also another option. But you're going to have to run Band of the Might as one of your ring slots. But these are going to be the best setups for the Frenzy Barb. But I'm curious to know what you guys think of this build. Like I said, right now it is currently the rank 1 build. And one little bonus tip I want to give you guys, when you're playing this build, to min-max and be as efficient as possible, you want to make sure that you're not sitting there attacking all of the enemies, unless you're doing really high GR. Like if you're trying to do like GR like 130 plus, then yeah, you might have to sit there for a while. But to get the min-max value out of this build, what you want to do is attack a target for a little bit, then just move. You're seeing these massive explosions. And if I move to another target where there's a lot more enemies, with the new Season 28 bonus ability to basically ignore unit collision, it is actually very helpful. So it makes things a lot smoother. You're going to be able to clear out things much faster if you just attack for like maybe like half a second and then just move. Unless of course the thing has shielding, then in that case just move away from the target completely, go find another target, because yeah, that will make your time a lot longer. But that's gonna wrap it up for the build guide. I'll put the max roll Yugioh website for the entire build, but feel free to go and check out the pinned comments if you guys want to see more builds for Season 28. But thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on it. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn on the bell if you'd like to see more Diablo videos in the future. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.